Okay.
I'm gonna reload the stream. Oh, there we are. We're back. We're back.
We're back, everybody. Sorry about that. Technical
Sorry about
difficulties.
that. My OBS crashed.
Scooby-Doo is too powerful.
Yeah, the lizard, the wacky lizard was too wacky.
He's an incredibly powerful entity.
No.
Scooby-Doo.
Yes, apparently my animations are getting too powerful for this world.
You should keep them a little contained because they're gonna destroy streams. So anyway, that's all your animation, boy.
Yeah. So that's the most recent thing I released not too long ago. So I mean, there's more stuff on my channel, but we'd be here all day.
Yeah, that's good. Anyway, there's another thing you really wanted to talk about. You wanted to talk about VR, your VR industry work, for instance.
Okay, so this is where things get interesting. All right, so because of my interaction, and I have brought on this entire skill set of managing like fandoms and hey.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I'm grabbing something to drink. I'm very sorry.
Oh no, I was my tracking goes weird. Of managing fandoms, all this stuff. I apparently built up an intuition and just like watching where these things go, like the and I use that in the animation, in the VR industry. I'm actually technically in the emerging technologies industry, and so it's not like specifically driven VR. It's VR, AR, mixed reality, mobile edge computing. Mobile edge computing is basically real-time graphics via cell phones. And I think that's all I can say about that.
Do you guys have floating like magnet tables? Because it sounds like a place that has that.
No, but I got a little a table that I push a button, it goes, and then I was like, yeah, I can stand now. Yeah, standing desk, yeah. It goes down, it goes up, and then I got some monitors swinging around, and yeah.
You're all wacky, by the way, G1. Oh, there you go, you're back.
Not for me.
So here's where things get interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Where it brings us to VR chat, because the entire 2016 year that I was working in VR, all right, I noticed that the industry has no idea why people would want to use VR. They do some focus studies and some testing and stuff like that, and they actually have no idea. So convincing people with money to continue investing in the technology is very, very hard unless you have data to back it up. So they always go, well, what's the market with money that's going to buy the stuff? So they always test older people. And so they put on the headset and the older people, and they're just like, what do you think about this? And they're just like, oh, it's really interesting. Yeah, it's like, would you, out of all the entertainment options that you have, from reading to Facebook to games to TV, would you choose VR over all of them? And it'd be like, oh, no, I don't like wearing a blindfold. I could see me wearing this at an arcade, but, like, I don't like being unaware of my surroundings. And I've noticed a trend with all of the technology platforms that come out, and this includes everything technology, all right?
Yeah.
Because of my animation experience, because of my character animation experience, because I have to really understand what goes on inside an individual's head, so I can take that and put that into a character, and because I have messed with fandoms before, and let's be honest here, most of the fandoms are on the people in the pony fandom, they're on the spectrum. They're very, very awkward, very social. So they've actually taught me a lot about human development and just seeing people in a different perspective. I've noticed that in cognitive development, when you have a new generation, the new generation has to identify with something. All right, this happened in, think about it, my generation, we brought user-generated content from the internet, like up to mainstream. All right. So that's basically like our realms. Like, if you're like a 30-year-old and, that's basically you grew up with that and you had that, your parents didn't understand. Baby boomers love television. They don't even, baby boomers watch so much television right now.
Don't even care.
And the baby boomers, but when they were growing up, TV was the newest thing. And so they latched onto television because that was their thing, and so they stick with it. All right, I'm pretty sure my generation is going to be stuck with like social media and YouTube and entertainment. That's our entertainment options. All right. Yeah. So what's up for the next generation? What do they got?
We're the virtual generation, G1.
I'm talking about okay, so here's the way it works, all right? And I've noticed these things. There's a part in the human development that I've noticed from just watching things and just listening to people talk fondly about, their favorite songs, favorite books, favorite this, favorite that, all right? A lot of times the most powerful like experience that they have, like listening to a new song or their most favorite game ever playing when they were a kid, I'm talking about like you're talking to 25-year-olds, and they look back. It's always something that they've discovered around the age of 13 to 14.
Oh yes.
My dad first listened to the new Beatles album, the Sgt. Pepper. When they came back.
Yeah.
He put on the record when he was like 13 years old, and he said it blew him away. And now it's to him it's the greatest thing ever. All right, he looks back, he puts it on all the time. My favorite game is Banjo-Tooie. I love Banjo-Tooie. I think it's the greatest game ever. I played that when I was 13, 14.
G1 and I are a little younger, but for me it's mostly like PlayStation 2 lifespan stuff like Ratchet and Clank and Sly Cooper, those kind of things. They're the best
for me.
Yeah,
I'd say because I play games, that's what I do. For me, my favorite game probably be Life is Strange, just because I played that when I was 18, and the characters in the game were 18, and I could get the characters in that game a lot. I felt I could really connected with those characters, and that the experience of that game, I think, definitely impacted me as a person, and it still does. So a little bit later than what Petey's saying.
Yeah, there's no set clock to
totally
this.
The same. Yeah, everyone's
it's a maturity. Yeah. It's a maturity level in the brain because I try to connect my knowledge of information, because as you know, I love to collect knowledge. I love to learn. I love to all this stuff. So that wall of knowledge, I ate through that. I expanded on my knowledge to other areas, and I try to connect them back with animation. So that includes evolutionary biology, evolutionary taxonomy, evolution of the brain structures, and then I also tried to connect biomechanical processes of the brain itself at a molecular level and see if I could connect that back with animation. Turns out you can't, but I definitely know how to draw out diagrams of the drugs. Like, oh, this is the reason why this drug works, and it connects to this nucleotide right here, and it's really complex. All right, so anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, here.
I believe VR is.
Here's an interesting
VR chat.
Here's an interesting thing. One of our chat members brought up. Tina says, "Same with music platforms. You won't find my parents using Spotify. They'll use their CDs and Arrow Classic Rock." Well, I have a funny story. I actually have a lot of CDs. I like CDs.
I like CDs too.
I'm not too fond of Spotify because I can't.
No, I don't like Spotify. No,
I can't Spotify in my car.
I like having actual. Yeah. I like still having my MP3 player. I still like having files of the songs on my computer. Yeah. My father doesn't like any of that. He actually likes vinyl records. He has tons of vinyl records, and he continues to buy vinyl records. Yeah. So whatever you are familiar with at that time, that is your thing, because because, and here where it gets weird. All right, this is where it gets weird and kind of cuts through. During puberty,
Oh dear.
Here we go.
You're actually developing the emotional core of you. All right. So there's a lot of things that happen to you during that time. You get very emotional. You're actually forming your emotional core. All right. And that core stays with you forever. All right. So that's basically who you are. And plus, there's the whole aspect of like rebelling against authority figures. You know, that instinct drive. You know, you don't know why you do it. No one knows why they do it. Well, it's because like if you look at the evolutionary human animal, during that time, now you're able to go out and be your own man or be your own woman, and you're supposed to break away from your tribe so you can go and mingle with other tribes and genetic diversity, basically.
So we
like a
can
healthy
be
tribe.
tricycle people like we always wanted to.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
So here's the thing. You can't really just like get up and leave now because society doesn't really allow that.
You mean the house market and the job market?
Yeah. So in modern society, generations latch on to technology that the other higher end, other people don't understand. The adults don't understand. And think about it. All right. I was on the internet. My parents were always worried sick on being on the internet because there's some sexual predator on there. Like I don't know who I'm talking to. Blah blah. Like, I'm like, Mom, you don't get it.
Everyone on internet is trying to get you.
Yeah. And they're like, don't get into strangers' cars and don't talk to people on the internet. And now today, I literally use the internet to summon a stranger so I can get into his car, and it's called Uber.
Summoning strangers.
Exactly. It's exactly.
So
now I just hop onto VR chat and I summon strangers to entertain me. It's the same thing.
Here's the thing, all right?
Yeah?
In the VR companies, the VR industry is about to drop VR because they weren't selling. They were trying to push VR onto the market in 2016 to prove that they were selling gear. But no one was selling because no one bought it. It was so difficult to get people to actually put on a headset and try VR because their experience in VR is what they see on the the internet or whatever, like someone filming someone else in VR, and they're like, look how stupid you look in VR.
Look, it's someone having
like,
fun with a weird goggles.
I don't want to look that stupid. Like, I don't want to look stupid. And then you're like, well, just try it. You're like, no, I know I'm going to look stupid. And it's so funny because as soon as you put them on the head, they immediately forget they have a headset on.
It's such an interactive medium. You cannot express it without actually doing it yourself.
Yeah, that's what because it's really hard to get excited for VR without trying it first. But I have a question from the audience for you.
What?
Someone in the audience says, how big is the impact of VR chat?
VR chat is the only platform that I've ever seen that actively gets people to buy VR.
Yeah.
From never trying VR before, they're in the desktop. Mm-hmm. They see me walking around and kicking and stuff, and we go play mini golf, and the desktop users standing there.
That too.
I want that. They're selling it so well that you ever try to get Vive trackers from the Vive website, they're out of stock. Always out of stock. Yeah. They can't make them fast enough. Vive doesn't even know what's going on. I had a meeting with Vive and I was like, yo, it's VR chat that's causing your product to sell because they think it's all enterprises that are selling. Because they're aiming for the enterprise market.
It's that's something I want to talk about in a bit. But VR chat is actively selling VR headsets as well. Now that you said like the enterprises, they're aiming for the big companies, that's the issue. That's the exact issue with HTC at the very moment. But let's go on.
So, and the people that want it the most is the upcoming generation. Because they saw the streamers like what's the one with the is it Jay-Z or Jesse the blue James Key. Okay, so James Key, and then they saw James Key. They're like, wow, he's cool. I want to be cool too. I want to go into VR chat. And so that was the explosion of the Uganda Knuckles thing, which leads me to another point of how platforms form and go. So, and if you think about the younger generation, like parents are like, Johnny, what do you get out of there? Like, I don't know what you're seeing in that headset, because you have parents that are tracking everything that their kid is doing, but they don't know what's going on in the headset. And they're just like, shut up, Dad. Like, you don't understand. Like, and puts the headset back on. Hey, what's up, guys? It's just my dad. What a loser, right? Yeah. So, and
hey, look at this. Someone just cheered for us with 500 bits. Thank you very much, Jin. Thank you so much. Thanks for being a regular viewer, and thank you so much for cheering. Anyway, I'm very sorry. I'm very new to the whole affiliate thing, so I'm still.
Oh, cool. Good. Congrats. So. And this is where my prediction VR chat's going to go. It could go a number of ways. All right. So here's the life cycle of any platform on the internet, and it's also what happened with YouTube. Okay. So stage number 1, and I'm just going to do a clock right here. Stage number 1 is platform is launched. All right. Yeah. So the platform is launched, and it's that's basically it. And then stage number 2 is that creatives find this platform and they move in and they set up a creative haven. All right. So this is the very, very early days before, when it was a very, very niche group and everyone's learning. No one really knows what they're doing, but they're all really, really tight peas in a pod. And it's, it's cool. And because of that, they make a really cool place to be, because they just creatively build it. All right. Then stage number 3 is when the fans move in. That's the James Ski event, right? Yeah. So basically, you have the normies, that they see the cool haven that the creatives have produced, and they're like, that looks like fun, let's move in, all right? And the platform explodes, and it's normally very, very young people, because they have the most time to invest.
Yeah.
And what type of person? Squealers.
Yeah.
And squealers were all running around VR chat with Uganda Knuckles, and that's when it explodes. And that's the launch event. That's the rapid growth stage. And the platform itself becomes very, very expensive to run for the engineers and devs. All right, the original design. It only goes way out of their budget. All right, so then it goes into stage 4. And currently, VR chat's between stage 3 and stage 4. At stage 4, it needs to set up an economy. Right, so it becomes self-sustaining. All right, it needs to find a way to use the users so it can monetize or can generate revenue, so the platform itself can be sustainable. All right, and that's either with continued investments through other companies, which is not recommended, or proof that this company is selling this product. Like, this thing is selling this product, so therefore,
a cut from Oculus or from Vive. Yeah, that'd be fair.
Yeah. Or it's advertisement or some way to set up an economy, all right? Yeah. And then the project becomes self-sustaining. Then the worry of it going away disappears. People are, and then to incentivize it, the economy is put back to the user base. So it's like, hey, now you can get some effort. You get some monetization for your efforts, and so the people, they're able to really go full tilt into the thing, and like, oh man, now I can like quit my day job and go all in and make something, like really, really make something in VR. And that's when it really, really gets good, because that's when you get like really high quality content, because someone is able to spend all day on that content, and that's when the content gets really, really good, and the platform grows, and there's so much money flowing that then companies get interested.
We can do this right now, like with
I don't know.
No, well, the issue is well, no, let's not get into this. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. We'll talk about this after the stream. But
we'll talk
go
about
ahead.
And then if it doesn't set up the economy and doesn't become self-sustaining, the platform dies.
Yeah.
All right. And then when it sets up an economy, it moves into stage 5, which is the capitalism, basically. So now you got the attention of you've just formed a new market. You've formed a new market that's rapidly growing. So companies are very, very much interested in what you're doing there, and then they try to move in. They try to capitalize on the attempts.
We get the bug
individuals
with Pepsi ads and stuff.
Yeah. Also users, like individuals, can become companies because they grow so big, the taxes become so complex. They do a limited liability company, and now they have like a crew to help them make more stuff. So now the individuals are starting to become companies. All right.
Yeah.
And now, then it starts to
No,
get
Tinas,
bad.
I was just making a joke about corporate involvement. The bug does not have Pepsi advertisement.
Yeah. Now it starts to get bad because now.
Yeah.
Now after capital companies move in, that's when it comes to where people have alternative motives now.
Yeah.
Now they're using the platform for their own agenda, and now it becomes a very politicalized.
You get
it becomes
political,
very.
you get money, you get
manipulative.
Yeah.
And you have people that figure out how to game the system for their own advantage. So it's basically they use the platform for their own agenda, mostly to gain the system, make the most money ever, or you use the platform to do something. It starts to get toxic, and most of the original creators, they're just like, what happened to our platform? It's shut up with oneself.
That's what's happening with YouTube right now.
And so then becomes stage 8, which is it's a split in the road. All right, it's either the platform becomes so toxic, all the original creators have already left at this point. They've like the Lorax, they've taken their boot and they've flown off to somewhere.
Don't get me
you have to go
started
find
on
them
the
again.
Lorax.
And they've gone off somewhere. Now it just because people coming in now, because now it's basically mainstream. Now the platform has become mainstream, but it's either so toxic that it collapses, or the engineers and devs and everything, like a higher power steps in, and then comes the regulation smackdown.
Yeah.
All right, and then the platform becomes highly regulated, so everyone has a fair.
At that
play.
point, though, G1, if we ever reach that point, we should go into a forest and film a dead body.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out for Mr. Paul.
Yeah, worked.
And then at that point, if a creative still is on, like an actual creative, like one that makes it for the art, if they're still on the platform, they're getting screwed over.
Yeah.
And it's just the exploitive people that know how to game the system, and then it becomes a mainstream thing.
Yeah.
Now YouTube's basically mainstream.
Yeah. And
Like you tell,
like every kid is watching their YouTube celebrity.
yeah, no kid is watching TV anymore.
No, but neither am I, honestly. I really ditched
I don't have TV.
It's just so shit.
I don't watch TV.
I can watch anything I want whenever I want. Why would I watch a TV?
Exactly.
Yeah. But
So these are my observations.
What the fuck?
And this is.
I'm good.
And this has happened. These are my observations, and this has happened with every single creative industry. This happened with film. This happened with music. This happened with video games. This happened with internet, and it's going to happen with VR.
Yeah. Indie.
Okay.
I place all my chips on the upcoming generation.
I don't know.
Totally.
I don't know if I can trust them just yet.
No, you can't. You can't trust them. You can't trust them. But the thing is that they're going through the emotional changes. They're forming their emotional core. They're using this new technology. It's still in the creative haven phase. It doesn't feel like it's been tainted by capitalism.
Yeah.
So they feel like that they are identifying with the platform. They're forming their actual core person, their emotional core around it, and like really identifying with the platform. Because if you watch younger kids, you need something to identify with.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going through that like really emotional phase of puberty. That's terrible, and everyone goes through it.
Stop swearing with the P word, man. It's making my viewers uncomfortable.
Puberty. Puberty. Puberty.
Easy. We don't want to get banned.
I just, the only thing I worry about is like if I had a VR headset on at the same time going through puberty. Like, think about the acne, man. That would be so bad.
I'm so glad. That's
the only limitation.
Yeah, acne. We're gonna get VR acne face masks that prevent acne.
Yeah. Joe, what if you have like your VR face mask, but it's also the strips that like rip out the blackheads? So when you peel your VR headset off, it's a cleansing. It just takes all the blackheads off.
You're gonna look like a fucking Disney superstar.
Weird.
Yeah, oh man, yeah. Yo, that's our new market. Like, that's how we get all the kids in. Yo, you wanna, instead of like lying in bed, do nothing, what if you could play video games and make your face look perfect?
Yeah, we'll just
VR strips. Invest.
Yeah, we're gonna
invest VR pore strips.
We're gonna develop a face mask that you with a bit of a faucet like on top, and then you can pour some of our patented VR beauty cream into it, and it'll distribute over your face while you play.
A beauty face mask, yeah.
While you play.
Oh man.
And like when you put it on, you look like Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory, and when you pull it off, you're fucking Dwayne Johnson.
It's beautiful. Yeah, or beautiful Squidward. Just
yeah. Okay, guys, please invest in VR beauty cream. We're gonna do it. This is our master plan. Next generation, give me your fucking money. Get beautiful.
Nobody buy that domain until we get
Become beautiful. Become proud. Become VR. Do it.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Do it. Roll that clip.
No.
Roll it.
Yeah,
no, Tina's just stole the patent.
That was good.
Crap.
That was good. It was super interesting.
Yeah. Damn it. Well, guess we need something else. Let's talk about it after the stream.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, go on.
That's it. I mean, on that, it's creative.
Yeah. Well, then I'm gonna close my questions list because those are all my questions. We still have a bit, so if you wanna, if there's anything else you'd like to discuss, you're a fun guest, by the way. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I am.
Oh yeah, I'm just so worried because I have to the other animation that I have to finish, the Dover Boys reanimate.
Yeah.
So I gotta.
But if you have to leave, we can leave now. I think we're pretty wrapped up. We had a good show.
We've got a lot of content.
Well, I can leave in the most epic way possible if you want me to leave.
Well, sure.
Show off my creative skills in
Shall we head upstairs?
Yeah, let's go up. Let's go head upstairs.
Hold on.
All right.
Okay, let's see what he has to offer us. Okay, if you guys like PD, subscribe to his YouTube. Spare the man a good $1.
Yeah, sound effects on, right?
Yeah. I have enough 60%. Is that enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go over here. I love this server, by the way. It's so fun.
It's the Matcha Cafe.
I know what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
If you want to tell us before you leave, like what's your channel?
Where can our friends,
stuff like that,
our viewers find you?
At Pikapetey Animations on YouTube. Yeah. That's where I am. Watch there. I also have this other channel I haven't really announced yet because I just like upload VR chat footage on there, just raw VR chat footage. But I've yet to build more stuff for VR because I like exploring with animation. I like doing animation. I love VR chat because it feels like a new form of animation because it's like combining performance art with animated elements. So that's always really cool. And then you can also like leave in the most epic fashion possible if you want to see that.
Yeah, hit me up,
So,
Do it,
Joe,
show us.
thanks for coming by. Yo, it's been great, but unfortunately my Uber ride is here, and I gotta go back in time.
Goodbye, PD.
All right. So
There he
I'm going to a
goes.
place before VR where degenerates could gather. A place called Second Life.
Goodbye, PD.
Have fun, PD. Have fun. There he goes.
Oh, jeez. Well, that's that.
There he goes.
I guess that's it. Well,
That was
G1,
fun.
that was good fun. It was a nice ass podcast, if I do say so myself.
Good
No,
Good
not
podcast,
roll
guys.
that
Good
clip.
podcast.
We don't have any
Let's
clips to
roll it.
roll.
Let's roll it.
So anyway,
Let's roll it.
thanks everyone for watching. Thanks people for
Yeah, thank
subscribing,
you.
and thanks people for cheering. I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm glad everyone's enjoying it. We'll see you next week. Next week we'll be doing a world tour with Kos, and after that we'll do some golf with friends. So it's
I
gonna
love
be
golf.
cool. Yeah, but you're not my friend.
Oh, okay. I see how it is.
Did you do Kos's Toho Puzzle World?
I haven't seen it. Haven't seen
Then,
any of Costas.
Will you be able to do next podcast with me then?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then
think
we'll
so.
have you too. Then we'll have you too.
Yeah.
Anyway, goodbye, people. If you want to hang out, you
Farewell.
can find me on VR chat. You can add me under the same name, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.